If you're trying to grow your business and you're not tracking any of your insights and your analytics, then there is a problem and we need to fix that. I personally went from $0 to $10,000 months in 30 days because of hyper tracking, because I was tracking conversations, I was tracking leads, I was tracking everything that you could possibly track so I can make sure that I was on the right page. When you are running a business, there is nobody to keep you accountable except for you. There is no higher up, there's no any supervisor, manager, boss, there is none of that. It is literally just you. And so we have to work like we are ready to make thousands, if not millions of dollars. And how do we do that? By putting in systems in place, by making sure we're tracking our analytics, by making sure that we're investing in the right programs and softwares to do so that we can grow and we can scale. Now, I get it. I was just like you, where I did not track anything. I was just like, conversation over here, conversation over here. But here's how this impacted my personal life. It impacted my personal life because while I was over here having all of these conversations, I was trying to figure out where all of my sales was going. Why was I having so many conversations, but I wasn't having any sales? Why was I not making any money? How was I supposed to pay my bills? How was I supposed to do X, Y, and Z, right? And I had to recognize it wasn't that I was not doing the right action with my business necessarily. It was just that I didn't even remember who I was talking to because I was having so many conversations. And even if I only had 1 or 2 conversations going on without that tracking and that insight, then I realistically would still be lost because I have other things going on in my life, right? I have a child, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I have my own hobbies, right? And so like I'm involved in ministry and there's so many things that I have to keep up with on a daily basis that it's going to slip my mind and I'm going to be like, oh my goodness, it's been a week. And I remember Sarah messaged me last week, but I haven't gotten to her, right? But if I had a tracking system, I wouldn't miss any conversation and I would know who I had a conversation with and I would be able to make consistent sales because I understood what I was talking about. Before I dive deep into teaching you how to set up tracking, what you need tracking for in your business, those types of things, I want you to do me 2 favors. Please, could you like this video and subscribe to my channel? When you like this video and subscribe to the channel, it actually tells YouTube that my content is good. And so then it will be able to push it out to more people who are ready to learn how to grow and scale their businesses, which is kind of the whole purpose of this YouTube channel, is to help you grow and scale your business, okay? Also, if you're like, okay, that all sounds great. You made 10K in 30 days because you tracked and you're gonna teach me how to track, but like, who even are you? Hi, my name is Sienna Kobishki and I am a Christian sales coach. I teach Christian entrepreneurs how to scale their business to $20,000 months on repeat using my formulated system, PMVMS, which just stands for prayer, mindset, visibility, marketing, and sales. I actually teach this inside of my signature group coaching program called Consecration Academy, which is also a hybrid one-on-one program. Oh, by the way, speaking of Consecration Academy, I have a quick little spotlight to show you about it. So go watch that and then we will be right back to talk about tracking and analytics and all of the things. Before we jump into today's video, I need to talk to the woman who feels like she is doing everything right in her business, but yet it kind of feels like God has gone silent. You keep creating the content, you're posting, you're praying, you're showing up, you're serving your audience, you're supporting everyone else. And internally, you are starting to wonder, when is it going to be my turn? When is God going to show up for me? When are the clients going to start rolling in? That is probably some of the questions that you have. You are tired of sowing seed after seed after seed and not seeing the harvest, not seeing the blossom, the fruits of your labor. You're tired of putting on a brave face for all your family members and friends about your business and pretending like everything is going well in your business. Pretending like, oh yeah, I'm hitting those high income months, or pretending like everything's fine, even though you are barely seeing the income that you want to make. You love Jesus. You love the Lord with all of your heart, your might, and your soul. but honestly, you're feeling discouraged, disappointed, and you're starting to doubt your own capability. If that woman is you, I want you to know something. I created Consecration Academy just for you. Just for the woman who's wondering, when is it going to be her turn? When is it going to be your turn? That's who Consecration Academy is for. Consecration Academy is not a fluffy, feel-good program. This is a high-level, spirit-led program for the woman who's done pretending that everything is okay and is ready to actually step into the abundance that God has for her, the abundance that God has for her business. Inside of Consecration Academy, you are going to get access to 2 one-on-one calls every single month. These are 60-minute in-depth strategy sessions where me and you are going to really go through your entire business. It's where the Holy Spirit gets to meet us in that place, and the 3 of us get to figure out how are we going to grow and scale and see success in your business. On top of your 2 monthly calls with me, you also are going to receive access to our community chat so you can cheer on other students in Consecration Academy and also be poured into. It's not enough to pour into everybody else, but you never get poured into. Now is the time for you to also be able to receive other people cheering you on and showing you that your business matters too. Inside of Consecration Academy, you're going to get every week, Monday, we do prayer calls. And so you'll be able to pray with other women who are on fire for Jesus, other women who are ready to see an impact in their business. And every Wednesday, you're going to get one of the following calls. We're either going to be doing a group coaching call on your visibility, on your marketing, on your sales, right? On your mindset, so you can show up in the best possible way. You get hands-on support in a group setting on Wednesdays, which is so incredibly awesome in case we didn't cover everything in our one-on-one sessions. On top of that, you get unlimited voice note access to me daily, so we can work on things outside of our group coaching calls and outside of our one-on-one calls. It's time for you to receive true support. You get access to a course inside of Consecration Academy, which takes you through all of the steps of prayer, mindset, visibility, marketing, and sales, which is the core foundational pillar of Consecration Academy. And last but not least, inside of Consecration Academy, you are going to get access to your own private tailored course, which is just for you and your business. This is where you're going to access your previously recorded one-on-one calls and every single piece of strategy that me and you have talked through either in DMs or on one-on-ones for you to continue to grow. So you have all of your notes, so you can just come to the call talking rather than taking notes and speaking with me. I want to make sure that you feel supported and loved on during our time together, because we are going to grow your business with the Holy Spirit to $20,000 months. The investment for Consecration Academy is $2,000 a month with extended payment plans as low as $250 a month. Because I never want money to be the reason that you delay what God is calling you to do. If you're ready to step into $20,000 months with the strategy, support, and Holy Spirit that you have been praying for, then I want you to go ahead and apply for Consecration Academy by clicking the link in the description below. You don't have to keep doing this alone. Now, let's dive into today's video. Now that you're back, let's talk about tracking and analytics and everything that you need to consistently grow your business, all right? Here's the truth when it comes to growing your business and scaling your business. If you're not tracking, you're actually losing money. And I had to learn this the hard way because I was wondering, like, all of these people who said they were interested in the 5K Mastermind, which was an old program of mine that I used to have before Consecration Academy. And they were like, I'm interested, but I wasn't following up with them. Not because I didn't want to, not because I didn't want those sales, not because I couldn't help them, but because I'm busy. I am a stay-at-home homeschooling mom. So I have my kiddo. I develop curriculum on a weekly basis for him. I'm making sure that I'm teaching him. I'm also a wife, right? There are things that I have to do as a wife, which I'm very happy about. But I also am a business owner and I have to run my business. And as a solo business owner with all of these things that I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta make a grocery run. I gotta do this for my child. I gotta do this for my dog. I gotta do this for my spouse. I gotta do this for this person. Right? Like, and then I already had clients. When I thought about all of the pieces of my personal life, and realizing that sometimes even my best friends will text me, and it's not because I don't not text them back because I don't want to. It's because I see their text message, but then something happens and I'm like gone, right? I'm in another direction of world, and then I come back to them a week later and I'm like, hey, oh, I saw your text, you said this. Well, it became the same thing with my business, is where someone said on a Tuesday, hey, I'm really excited, I want more information, but because I'm so busy, I saw their message and then I wasn't responding to them. I was losing out on money, I was losing out on sales, and then I would turn around and I would take care of my house, I would do all these things, and then it'll be another week, and maybe another week after that, before I followed up with people, because I just became so busy, and I also needed to take care of my own clients. It wasn't something that was my fault. It was just business became business. And when you're not tracking when you're small, you're not going to start tracking randomly when you're big, because it's going to be too much. And that's when I realized that if I had been tracking from the beginning of my business, whether I'm at $0 a month, I'm at $1,000 a month, I'm at $5,000 a month, I'm at $10,000 a month, wherever it is, I needed to start tracking conversations. And so this is what I mean when I say, if you are not tracking, you are leaving money on the table. So you may be saying, okay, Sienna, that sounds great. Where do I need to put in systems, and how do I do this in my business? I'm so happy that you asked me that question. So the first thing that I would do, the first type of tracker that I would have in my business is actually going to be tracking conversations, kind of like what I was talking about earlier, right? So you need to track who you're talking to. If you primarily make sales on a platform like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Threads, a platform where it's like community building, where you're like actively talking to people all day long, then what you're going to need to do is you need a spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets. This is an example of what mine looks like that tracks all of the data. You need a spreadsheet, right? Inside of the spreadsheet, you need their first name, only their first name. You don't need anyone's last name. You need exactly what it is that they do if you are business to business. If you're not business to business, that's fine. You need another column that talks about, that gives you the link to their account, regardless of what platform it's on, so you can easily message them directly by clicking that button on your laptop. You need another column for notes, right? Like, are they interested in anything? Have they said anything to you? And then I like to have a drop-down column. Now, this drop-down column is, and by the way, I'm saying this all off of memory because I'm going to go back and add the screenshot later that you're seeing right now. But the drop down column says what options they may be interested in. So for example, are they interested in, like for me, would they be interested in one-on-one, right? I do offer a consultation. So one-time one-on-one calls are 1 hour long, where you can just hire me for 1 hour to talk to me. You don't have to join Consecration Academy to receive that, right? So I do offer that. Or is this person interested in Consecration Academy, right? Okay, I've had a conversation with them. They said they're interested in Consecration Academy. Here you go. And so having that tracker system allows me to never miss anything, because I'm going to check this tracker every single day. And every single time I have a new conversation with a person, they get added into this tracker. Now, what I did to make my life super simple and super easy was I just actually downloaded an entire list of every single one of my followers on Instagram, because you're not going to inquire about my services if you're not already following me. That's just not the type of business that I run. And I also I've never been the person that just lets anybody into her offers. The more you're tracking, the more you don't talk to anyone unless you have your tracker open, is the easier it's going to be for your business. So you know, oh, I had a conversation last with Sally, and this is kind of a summary of what we talked about, and this is just where we are. Great, now you can move on. Now you can do this in a spreadsheet, you can do this in Notion, you can do this in ClickUp. You can literally have this list anywhere that you want that is beneficial for you and for your business. Okay, so that is number one. Number two, the second thing that you need to have in your business is you need to track your content. So if you are posting on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or Twitter or YouTube, wherever it is that you're posting, you need to track your content. So what was your content idea or topic about, or the day that you posted it, and then go back every 24 hours and how did it perform? How many likes did you get? How many comments did you get? How many shares did you get? How within 24 hours? How many DMs did you get as a result of that particular thing? How many, maybe if you're application based or discovery call based, how many discovery calls sign up did you get from that thing? How many applications did you get from that, right? So we need to be tracking how our content is performing. Not every content piece is going to resonate really well with our audience, and the more we track it is the more we know. So for example, this video that you're watching right here, if I were to go back and track this video, and then all of a sudden I got 3 people who applied for Consecration Academy as a result of me watching this video, I know that what you guys want to hear is you want to hear me talk more about systems. You want to hear me talk more about automations. You want to hear me talk more about putting certain things into your business so you can continue to grow and scale, right? And so then I'm going to make more content that feeds off of this piece of content because I know that that's what you want to hear. Comparatively to if I have a piece of content that I posted that I thought was great, and maybe it got a lot of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of shares, but it didn't get any sales, and I know, okay, this is great. This is a great piece of content. Again, idea, topic for the future if I'm ready to just like build engagement, right? Engagement with other people, but I know that this isn't going to make me sales, so I will keep that top of mind moving forward. So when we're able to look at our content and see how our content is performing, it actually puts us in a better place because now we're like, okay, these types of contents bring in money. This type of topic does not bring in money. This topic doesn't do anything, doesn't bring in conversations or money, right? So when we can track that, we can know. So those are the 2 biggest pieces of tracking data you need to have in your business. The third one is going to be your sales tracking. Now, this should be done automatically anyway, depending on what system you use. Like for personally, I use Go High Level for my business. So when you come in and you submit an application, it's going to take you through a pipeline as well as an automation, right? What I'm tracking in there is from that application, how many people are qualified or not qualified, how many people become clients after signing up. So you need to be tracking sales, right? If you have discovery calls or sales calls or whatever you want to call them, how many people are hopping on a discovery call and actually turning into clients versus how many people are hopping on calls and not turning into clients? Like, do you know what percentage of your calls convert? When I did closing for my own business, when I did my own discovery calls, I always knew how much I closed at. I knew my closing rate. I had a 92% closing rate as a business owner. So I know that 92% of people who hop on a discovery call with me will end up being my clients. The other 8% of people were not. And I knew why. Because they weren't qualified. There was a lot of things that were going on in the back end. But what I have found is that with my 92%, it allowed me to know, okay, I need X amount of calls every single month in order for me to hit X amount of revenue. So my husband wasn't like, oh, how much money do you predict we're going to bring in more next month, right? And I'm like, I don't know. As a business owner, you should know that, even if you're small, even if it's just you. Now I'm application based, so my system tracks everything for me. I don't need to even worry about it or think about it, but I do know how many people, I think it's still around 90-something% of people that actually apply for Consecration Academy get accepted. And so with that being said, I just want to share that with you. Like, these are the 3 things that you need to be tracking in your business if you are ready to grow and scale. Success doesn't just randomly happen. Like Jeff Bezos didn't become Jeff Bezos, or, you know, these people, the 1% didn't just become the 1%. They knew what they were doing, and when they failed, they took the data from their failure and they turned it into a success. You can't do that if you're not tracking. If you are like, I'm serious about my business, I'm ready to grow, I'm ready to scale, then you have to track. It is a non-negotiable. It is annoying. You can hire a VA. I have great VA recommendations if you need one. You can hire a VA, but you have to track because the time is now, friends. The time is now. Okay. Without further ado, I thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about anything I've taught that may not make sense to you, or you're like, okay, well, how do I track this for my business? Drop them in the comments below. I will read them and I will respond to them. Also, don't forget to like this video for me and subscribe to this channel because every time you do, it just continues to push my content further and further along through the algorithm, allowing more and more people to see this information so other people can grow and scale their businesses too, instead of just you. And lastly, if you are interested in Consecration Academy, please go ahead and apply. I would love to see more applications come through, especially as we are bringing on co-coaches in this month. So I would love to see that happen. I would love to see you hit $20,000 months. It is your season. All right, friends, I will see you in the next video. Bye.